Well, hey there, and welcome back to Milestone Mom. If we haven't met yet, my name is Erica, and I'm a pediatric developmental therapist and have worked in the early intervention program for over a decade, servicing babies and toddlers. And we have been talking a lot about foundational milestones from tummy time to rolling. And today we are going to continue our talk on a more in-depth look on rolling. I've been in enough homes to know that every parent gets that moment when they see their baby either trying to do something new or it's emerging or it's almost there. And I know they're questioning is this supposed to be happening or what can I do to support this? And, it seems really simple underneath if you think about rolling, but you really don't know what actually goes into rolling. You really don't know what's going on underneath because it tells us so much about your baby's development. And we've kind of been talking about that in the last videos. If you have watched them, part of tummy time and rolling really has to do with mastering or having that core strength. But today we're going to go ahead and dive a little bit deeper into rolling and talk about what it really means, some of the early signs that your baby is getting ready to roll. That way, I want you to be able to support them with confidence, which is why I'm creating all of these videos for you. So if you do have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you've been around here long enough, you know that I like to start with a story. I kind of think back at the little ones that I have serviced and like to bring them to life for you. So I had this 5-month-old little boy and he just was not rolling yet. And you can imagine, I'm sure, the frustration, not only with the little one, but also with the parents. And I think something that was really upsetting to them is seeing other babies roll, her little one's exact age and hers not. So again, you have to bring that comparison game into this, which can be so detrimental sometimes. So I observed this little one for a while on the floor, and I could definitely tell he had the curiosity and he had the strength and the coordination. Okay. Usually when I've done these videos, they don't have the core strength and they don't have the arm strength and stuff like that, especially for tummy time. But this little one actually had the strength and the coordination. So why was he not rolling yet? Well, it's because we had to address weight shifting and body rotation. And I'll talk a little bit about that in this video. As always, we kind of come up with a game plan and we work through a few simple fun activities to help him practice and engage, that core, of course, muscle strength and some over the midline reaching activities. And just by doing this within a few days, he was actually able to roll over for the first time on his own. And of course, you can imagine that mom's relief and joy. And it just reminds me how often our guidance for our little babies and awareness of what they need is really all that your little one needs. Let's talk a little bit about why rolling matters. So I know rolling seems simple. It's so cute when they're trying to roll over. It's actually your baby's first step towards one of their first coordinated movements. So rolling teaches core strength, balance, and weight shifting. You have to have body awareness. I mean, think about it. Have you seen the little ones that do roll and they're like, I rolled over? Coordination on both sides of their body. It also lays the foundation for things like sitting, crawling, and eventually walking. So supporting rolling isn't just about, that one single milestone. It's actually about setting up your baby for success for every stage to come after. So let's go ahead and talk about some of the early signs that your baby is actually ready to crawl. They will have strong head control. They will lift and turn their head easily in a tummy time position from side to side while lifting that head, like I said. They will have core activation. This means that they'll slightly be able to push up on their arms during tummy time, arching their back. They will also start reaching across midline. This starts with twisting their torso to reach for toys, especially while on tummy time. And just remember, midline is right here. So being able to reach over that midline to grab onto toys, if you think about it, which really helps with the rolling movement, kicking and shifting weight. So moving those legs and hips from side to side shows that they are getting ready. And then they're obviously showing curiosity. So they seem motivated to explore and reach for different objects that are actually outside of their reach. And if you do notice, 2 or more of these things, then your baby is definitely getting ready for rolling. But let's go ahead and talk about some myths surrounding rolling. Myth number 1, your baby should roll at exactly 4 months. Now, you've heard me say before that milestones are a range and not an exact date. So again, with rolling, it's a range, usually between 3 to 6 months. It could be completely normal normal for rolling. Myth number 2, if they can't roll, something is wrong. So many babies really just need practice, like I said before, in core strength to roll, and then they will eventually roll. I think the trick comes in here is knowing what to look for and how to support that. Because if you were to look at a little one, you can see, like, do they already have that core strength? If they don't have the core strength, then we need to be working on core strength. If they have the core strength, then we need to be working on maneuvering those different positions to help get them to actually be rolling over. Myth number 3, you have to force your baby to roll. Just like with tummy time, you cannot force your baby to do anything. I guess that's it's almost like raising a teenager, but you really cannot force tummy time and you cannot force rolling. It's something that organically will happen with the right support, especially with gentle play, guided opportunities, and lots of encouragement for these different activities. Okay, myth number 4, rolling early is always better. Some babies actually do roll later than others, but catch up very quickly. It's about readiness, really, engaging that core strength and things like that versus speed. So sometimes we have babies that roll over early, and sometimes we have babies that roll over just a little bit on that later range. Okay, myth number 5, you're failing if your baby struggles. I know we internalize a lot of things as moms, so much falls on our shoulders, but you're actually not failing them. You're actually noticing and supporting your baby, which is showing love and awareness and guidance for them, which is the best thing that you can do for them. So keep it up, mama. So here's some activities. I know I kind of already talked, like the midline, reaching and stuff like that, but let's go ahead and talk about a few things. To encourage rolling, you can definitely do that sideline playing. I'll try and insert a picture of what that looks like. If your baby needs support, you can put like a towel or a pillow or something behind them. But what you're doing is you're just placing them on their side to play. So putting toys in front of them while they're on their side to play. And I would definitely switch these sides up so they have an opportunity to reach with both hands and using both arms and hands bilaterally. And then of course, still that tummy time with toys. I can't tell you how important that is, especially if your little one is tolerating tummy time now. I do have some videos if your little one's not tolerating tummy time, what you can do, because tummy time does not just happen on the floor. I want you to remember that. And there's different ways that we can strengthen their core muscles. One of those ways obviously is laying them on your chest so they can look up at your face. But today we're talking about rolling. So we're already considering that they have that strength. So when they're on their tummy, a lot of times when they're getting ready to roll, you can place a toy that's actually slightly out of reach for them, across midline or just, off to the side, especially like if they are in sideline playing. It's like, let's say they're to the side, but a toy just like up here. So they, have to reach and then roll. So then you have guided rolls. So this, you can slowly guide your baby's torso like through the motion. So just kind of holding your baby to roll over. And then obviously love those reach and grab activities. This motivates them while they're reaching out. It helps with weight shifting. So any of these exercises are wonderful that you can do with your little one. They're short things that you can do. They're playful. They're effective. There's no pressure. There's no forcing, just natural practice. And like I said, tummy time and rolling happen organically, unless obviously there's some medical something going on. And just a reminder that if your baby's not quite yet rolling yet, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're behind. It depends on where they're at in that age range. But there's definitely different things that we talked about in this video that you can do to help them. They have to have that core strength first. So maybe they're still building that core strength. They have to have the coordination, and they also have to have the confidence to roll. And some of this just happens at their own pace. So when you do observe, support them, encourage, you're giving them the best foundation really for every milestone to come after that. Remember, it's tummy time, it's rolling, it's, supported sitting, independent sitting, crawling, and then eventually pulling to stand and walking. So your awareness and what I want to say, like you're being proactive, like where the milestones fall and what they're doing is just so important for them. Okay, so now that you know what rolling really means for your little one's development, you might be wondering, okay, so they've mastered rolling, but now what? Well, that's exactly why I want you to watch this video here, because we are going to talk about how play strengthens different milestones. Because when you pair this video right here with what we talked about today, it's going to be even more powerful for you. So as always, I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next video. All right, bye-bye.